Because the money that's required to build down here in St. Lucie County ends up being in Washington, D.C. That's the God honest truth. And that's how simple it is. It is not about taxing people anymore. It is about how do we stop our wasteful spending in Washington, D.C. so that you all can do what Americans have always done for 236 years, is to grow this country, grow businesses, and grow opportunities. That's what we have to do. That's what I believe in, that's what I stand for, and that's what's rooted in the principles and values of these great United States of America. So with that being said, I'm not here to have any song and dance routine. I'm here to have a conversation with you all. So whatever the questions are, let's start the conversation.
Congressman West, I have the first question. Well, everybody knows I'll be asking the question or going around. Congressman West, mine is on gas prices and,
sure.
What you would consider your energy policy. And just a little bit of background on me. I'm a single parent raising my children on my own. I'm also a volunteer umpire in chief over at Southwest Port St. Lucie here, president of the Property Owner Association here, and also I work a full-time job and I own my own company. It's a small business. I'm the only employee of the company. Congressman West, as a process server, it's what I do. I fill up my car every day.
Yep.
That gas is killing me
Yep.
every day. It's anywhere from $40 to $50 a day, and sometimes recently I had to go run over to Tampa once. That day was 2 days. It takes a heck out of the profit. I hear a lot of things in Washington that's going on, and I ask myself, what's the right? We're going a lot with the green energy, and that seems to be the biggest movement. But what I do know now today is that my car runs on gas, and I need to go to a gas station, not pay $4 a gallon. I need to go to a gas station, pay something more reasonable, like maybe $1.50 to $2.50 a gallon. And I don't know what the solution is. What is the solution to gas prices, and what is your position on that?
Very simple. Inauguration day in January 2009, the average gas price in the United States of America was $1.84. I think all of you know right now the average gas price in the United States of America right now is somewhere between $3.95, $3.96. One of the things that I just talked about, reducing the influence and the impact of speculators. We have oil, gas, all kind of resources, coal, nuclear. 25 years since we built a refinery, 30 years since we built a new nuclear reactor. We need to start looking at all of those different resources that we can have here to help to reduce the cost. You think about the natural gas resources that we have right here off the coast of Florida. If we were to tap into those natural gas resources, every single mass transit vehicle here in this state of Florida could be running on natural gas, which once again reduces that price of gasoline. Most important thing, you've got to stop devaluing your dollar, devaluing your currency against the price of oil per barrel. And with the policies that come out of the Federal Reserve right now, what is called quantitative easing, interest rates at 0%, monetizing our debt, and printing more money. That's how you end up devaluing your dollar. We also need to look at the supply of oil and gas resources that we have here in the United States of America. And we need to make sure that that supply stays here for us. If there are some reserves that are created, then we can sell those reserves. But we got to make sure that we boost that supply here in America. The Keystone XL pipeline, that is a very critical thing that we need to have for America. The ambassador to the United States from Canada met with me in my office. If it doesn't come south, it's going to go west. If it's going west, it's going to go to China. Now, last week on Friday, when the president gave a speech talking about how bad the oil and gas companies are, that was the exact same day that a Chinese government-controlled oil and gas company surpassed ExxonMobil as the biggest oil and gas producer in the world. That company is controlled by the Chinese government by 86%. They overtook ExxonMobil in 13 years. Okay? We are losing that race. Anywhere you look across the United States of America, you'll see the Chinese flag when you talk about energy resources and raw materials. We can't keep sending billions of dollars to Brazil for them to do oil and gas exploration. How many people here heard of a thing called Scarabeo 9? Scarabeo 9 is a Chinese-made oil rig that was rented out to a Spanish company called Repsol, who was granted leasing rights 55 to 60 miles off the coast of Key West. And they're drilling right now in depths that are deeper than Deepwater Horizon. It was in place in January. See, if we don't tap into these resources, someone else will. There's a new technology out there called slant drilling, which means beneath the surface of the ocean, you can go up to 40 miles diagonally. Now, what do you think is within the 40-mile range of Scarabeo 9? The Outer Continental Shelf of the United States of America. And if there's a catastrophic event that happens, who do you think is ground zero for an onset? We are. So, once again, let's develop a full spectrum, because just yesterday, another green energy program, solar program, that had been getting subsidies of American taxpayer dollars, the fifth one went bankrupt. Oh, government can't pick the winners and the losers. Let's do the things with the full spectrum development of our energy resources and get these prices down. Let's open up more federal lands to get these prices down.
Question on a card. Congressman West, I'm an African-American female who's a Democrat. Why should I vote for you?
I don't know. Let's just talk about what you believe in. Do you believe in economic freedom, or do you believe in economic dependency? Do you believe that truly the basis of this country is small business owners that can get this country going in the right direction? Show me anywhere in the world where a top-down driven government economic policies has ever been successful. And that's what we're doing. You know, we have $15.6 trillion in debt. On Inauguration Day, the United States of America was $10.6 trillion in debt. That's $5 trillion in new debt. That is more debt from George Washington to Bill Clinton in 3 years and 3 months. It's an estimation when you look at President Obama's fiscal year 2013 budget, that debt will go from $16 trillion at the end of this year to $26 trillion, while taxes will increase by $1.9 trillion. It's a budget that never balances. It puts us in a deeper fiscal crisis. Now, what you have to do, each and every one of you sitting here today, tonight, you evaluate what you want the United States of America to be. You evaluate what you want to leave to your children and grandchildren. Do you want to leave an America that has the exact same opportunities that you had to enable you to be here today, or do you want to leave in a United States of America that's diminished? Not just domestically with our economic situation, but also globally. I can tell you that when I sat up at the United States Strategic Command Headquarters in Omaha, Nebraska 3 weeks ago, and asked them one simple question: the national security situation in which we find ourselves, is our influence diminished across the globe? And they said yes. This is a tough situation in which we find ourselves. And we need to just say, how do we turn the economic situation around? Do we take more money from the American taxpayer and we'll have it up in Washington, D.C.? To this point, I have not seen us to be fiscally responsible. So why should you vote for me? Because I just want to be your voice.
I got a question, Congressman. I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that the unemployment rate in Soviet Lucie is higher than the statewide average and higher than the national average. In Port St. Lucie, you can't even have so much as a garage sale. You can't even have a garage sale without getting a permit. Now, it's not the permit. It's not the $5 for the permit. It's when you get the permit, there's an official record that you had a garage sale. So now you're wide open to the IRS. Usually the feds leave you alone. As horrible as you're describing the federal government as being taxing and over-regulating and barren. But locally, now you're open for sales tax liability. They'll just throw a number out there. So, you know, if you're stifling someone who's a small business, someone who's starting on a shoestring, if you're going to stifle it, and you as a congressman, use the prestige of your office to speak out against this kind of an abuse.
I think that's what I do.
No, but you're speaking federally, and I appreciate that. I'm right with you. You know, hallelujah.
Real quick, Larry, he's running for U.S. Congress, not for mayor.
But you live in this area.
Let me make this point. Well, I'll be moving up to this, out of Broward County. But let me make this point. Every single time we have people that come up and testify before the Committee on Small Business, they're small business owners. 3 things that they say are killing them is the tax environment, the regulatory environment, and the lack of access to capital. And that's what's precluding these small businesses from opening up and hiring Americans. And you're right, when you have X amount of regulations at the federal level that you have to adhere to, then you have X amount of regulations at the state level that you have to adhere to. Then you have another level of regulations from the city, county, local